let the people know in case if they've been living under a rock and haven't seen this clip. Can you explain kind of what Terrance Howard was talking about?
Yeah, so he was basically saying that math, as you know, the way we know it, doesn't work for how the world works. That everything in our world is in motion. So if we have a fixed set of math problems, it does not equate for everything being circular or in motion or creating this spiral versus this straight line obsession that we have in our world. As you see, we have straight lines on everything, and that's not quantifiable in reality.
Right, because he was saying straight lines don't exist in nature anywhere.
Yeah, he's just taking a perspective of someone who's been able to pull from all these different parts of life that he's been able to study, and not someone who's been hyper focused on being a mathematician or just being in that world where that's all you know, and you don't get all of these other elements to make your knowledge deeper. And I can relate to that totally as someone who's a student of the world. I like researching all kinds of things, and I can bring these parallels in from my experience in music and my experience in making myself healthier and all these different things. It's like, okay, well, this is why this works, and just taking a whole nother perspective. You know, a lot of people in the intellectual community will call them polymaths. Or people who just have a bunch of different knowledge about a bunch of different things. And, you know, you see people like Billy Carson who are like that, or Yaki who's like that. So, yeah, I can definitely relate to that everything ain't so cut and dry.
But see, even with that, though, that further proves the point that everything is a part of this political mindset. Because like you said, Terrance Howard, he's an actor, he's a creative, but he just has an interest in science and an interest in physics. And so he's not going about his learning in a meticulous way that limits him and pigeonholes him in the way in these systems, the political systems within the scientific community.
Right.
He's looking at it in a way that threatens the systems of science, because you have to follow a certain structure. You have to bow to certain things. You have to accept certain things. You're not allowed to question certain things because this is what the people before us say that it is. So who are you to question anything? Yeah. And so he went on Joe Rogan the first time by himself and, you know, said all this, and the internet went crazy about it. But then he came back on, and I know we're shifting off a little bit, but I think it's all related. He went back on the podcast, and there was this scientist. I don't know this dude's name, but his energy, it was not cute. I don't care. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know you, but your aura was giving real brown. I wasn't into it. And it basically just seemed like he was going on there to try and make Terrance Howard look stupid.
Yep.
Back to my point of, hey, now we're going to create this space that makes the outside world look at him like he is crazy, so we can get the right soundbite, so we can catch him up in the right thing to basically contradict anything that he's saying, so you don't go down this rabbit hole of getting the information for yourself. Yeah. So he took Terrance Howard on here and thought he was gonna make him look stupid. If you watch the whole thing, I mean, Terrance Howard knows his shit. And like, he was like, and I guess the guy was basically, he continued to challenge him because he wasn't speaking in the way that, like you said, the intellectual community would articulate those things. He's saying it the way that it makes sense to him, you know, with a curious mind. Yep. And he was almost like, oh, that's not the way we say things. He was even referring to him in third person, like he wasn't even there in the room, like trying to make him seem like a childish boy, you know, questioning authority.
Yeah, and I can relate to that just even as a musician, and you know, I engineer all the time. Like I'm in there literally, you know, working through EQs and compressors, but I can't tell you every hurt, you know, all the hertz of every single frequency that I hear. But I know once I hear it that's what I need, and I know what area it's in, but you know. Yeah,
and you know what it feels like.
Exactly.
Because you are a soulful, melanated being where we do not have to rely on information. We rely on intuition. Yes. We rely on instinct. We are people who are connected to the earth. And so, yeah, I didn't love how they tried to play Terrance Howard. And I'm not going to act like I know shit about what they was talking about. I just thought this is really cool to see someone challenge the status quo and have done his research and have receipts to back up some of his, some of his claims.
Right.
And it's like anytime I see a group of people getting threatened by that challenging, the challenging of the status quo, it makes me want to dig deeper into what the person challenging the status quo is saying.
Yeah.
Because I don't take anything for face value. I don't take anything the media is trying to tell me is true. I don't take anything for face value.